What I'm about to say here doesn't just benefit those who are interested in trading. It actually benefits the regular folk that doesn't know what trading is and doesn't care about the stock market. Because this has to do with your money. Now, before I get in, the last two videos where I've made a market update, we've done exactly what I said will happen in those videos. Just so you know, what I say here actually comes to life. Guys, today we have good news in regards to the stock market. Now, in the last video, I told you if CPI comes out good, we can push to 13,000 NASDAQ. Surely that's where we're headed. Okay? And if we look at the last video, we came to the levels I said we will never break. Because if we break it, a lot of things collapse. And you've seen what happened with Silicon Valley Bank, with Credit Suisse, or I call it Suisse. You know, this kind of crunch was affecting a lot of banks, but they didn't come out publicly to say it. And that's why all of these central banks rushed to give them a helping hand, and the government, of course. Okay, now Silicon Valley Bank, the government said we will never help them, but they did something else to help them in the background, which is essentially owned by the government. Because what happens when you have banks failing, and this is the fear that's surrounding the stock market now? Well, you get savings wiped out. And even if you have insurance, well, the wealthy savings are going to get wiped out. That means there's no money to spend anymore. Nobody's investing in anything and nobody's buying anything. So, I'm going to give you guys another prediction here. And this is not just a prediction with the stock market. This is also a prediction with crypto. If you're a Bitcoin holder, or if you're a day trader, or if you're a swing trader. Well, the things are looking up now. We've seen CPI come down to 6%. And that's great. Now we want to know, is the Fed hiking interest? That's the thing, guys. That's the thing that's been pushing banks to the extreme because they're holding garbage instruments that are losing value because of these hikes. So now the actual curve is telling us by December the Feds will have to cut rates. And as I said, guys, before things unfolded in front of our eyes, I told you the Feds cannot allow this to go on any longer. And if they do, then they'll face a backlash. Of course, the economy collapses, guys. I told you we cannot break this thing that we say we cannot break, because if we do, then everything goes, right? Everything goes. Your money, my money. We start struggling. So this is the protection when investing. We have to assume the Feds will do their best to protect the consumer, not just the banks, us. Listen. 13,000 is where we're heading, guys. 13,000 to 13,500 on the NASDAQ. Now, if you just have a look here, you have a look, we see today it's uptrending, okay? The market is uptrending. 12,800, you get a double top. Now, this double top will soon or shortly be broken, because what is awaiting us next? It's interest hikes that the Feds will release next week as I make this video. What could happen here? It can bring it down and retrace it back down by a few points if they decide to go aggressive, or if they say we're going to hold off here because we see inflation is doing well. Well, we're straight back to 13,000. And guess what happens? We continue into a recovery mode. Okay? And from there on, we're out of a bear market a long time ago, as I said, guys, a few months ago. But now we will see some investors making some money. And we're going to try push away from the danger zone. And that's what they're going to do. That's what the ECB is doing, trying to push away from the danger zone. So now you're going to see a lot of short squeezes in penny stocks. You're going to see a lot of volatility. You're going to see crypto, pumping. Now, of course, we can't factor in unforeseen events that could occur. I mean, nobody could have seen that Silicon Valley was on the risk of a collapse, because they don't make it public till the last minute. But now we know the Fed is aware that this is a potential. And when you have something as a potential and one of them is already under, you can't allow this to go on for the rest of the banks. And this is two banks now. So I believe the thing that's going to make sense is either a lower hike or stay where they are for this current period. And that takes us all the way to 13,000. That takes Bitcoin back above, back to 30,000. And I think we're looking good for the next couple of weeks at least, and a lot of people will be able to make some money. But keep in mind, the hikes for the Feds will come in next week. But that's essentially what we're looking at, and that's essentially what's going to happen, guys. In regards to why this benefits the average folk, well, your savings is attached to all these banks. If these banks go under, if you don't have insurance, or the country you live in doesn't protect you financially with the deposit insurance scheme, whatever, then your money goes, because your money is attached to the bank's assets, right? And when the value of stocks, of bank stocks, decreases, they cannot pay people off. They cannot, they just don't have any more money, because the value of these banks is decreasing. And we're talking about stock banks, of course. Stock banks, in the best interest to have the bank stocks increase in value rather than decrease, so they can offset losses when they do have them. They can, I guess, pay customers, because they're holding garbage assets that are getting devalued by the Feds every time they hike interest. And these are the things, they're all attached together, guys. So that's what I believe will happen, and that's exactly what's happening, guys. I've been right the last 2 times in the last 2 videos I've made in the space of a month and a half, because that's how long it took for all these ups and downs. Now we're going back to a double top, which is 12,800 in the Nasdaq, and from there we break to 13,500 if next week's Fed hikes are unchanged, i.e. they don't increase them. And you'll see a big squeeze in most stocks. So hopefully it's good news for you guys, and hopefully I brought the good news to you. Other than that, I'm done here. See you guys soon, and as always, if you enjoy these, you know what to do. Peace.